Adventure in Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Download! This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman W4CY Radio, and I'm here with
Sam McTrusty from the rock and roll band Twin Atlantic.
I love that you just said rock and roll. Like, everybody wants to get all these micro-genre bullshit. I hate genres because there's like 10 million of them.
Well, we're going to get along just fine because we don't have a single one. We've got 7 albums. We've been going for a long time, and every single one of them could be a different band.
I love that.
Apart from the fact that it's me singing on it, it could be a different rock band. Yeah.
So I've said this before today, you know, like, it's like when everybody was giving shit to Ollie for music now, and he's like, why do I want to write the same song over and over again?
Yeah, no, it's boring.
Yeah, I was just going to say
and limiting and, I don't know, reductive, isn't it? It just makes a mockery of the art form.
Yeah, and if you're a growing artist, meaning you're learning your craft, wouldn't you want to expand out and
of course
experiment what you're learning and getting better at? I mean, I don't get it.
Well, dude, Matt, like, we started this band when I had just come out of high school, so I was like 17, 18, and the things that I cared about then and my view on the world is so different to now.
Yeah.
Not completely like polar opposite, but like
no, but you
just
grow up.
Life experience. I've got kids now. There's all these things to write about, so it just seems weird to me that the music wouldn't also evolve along with that.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And you know, it's funny. Like, I've interviewed Joe from the Vandals several times. We've become friendly, but he knows I won't ask him this. But every other press person asks him, so when are the Vandals going to come out with new music? So he headed it up because he knew I wouldn't ask. He's like, and don't ask me when the Vandals are going to write new music. Nobody wants to hear a 50-year-old writing punk songs, he says.
I mean, and I think there's then if you go long enough, then I do want to hear like an older, I would want to hear that.
Well, you want to hear the 50-year-old punk,
yeah.
Not the 16-year-old punk.
True.
Right?
I want to hear the new, fresh perspective on it.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So I told you I had a story for you before we started the interview because you're wearing a New York Mets hat, okay?
I am.
There's a band playing here at Download, just like you are.
Okay.
Probably one of my favorite interviews ever because they were blasted drunk when they came to my interview. It was
stone cold sober, eating an orange when we met.
Yeah, see, there you go. And it was at Louder Than Life, which is in Louisville, Kentucky, where there's lots of bourbon.
Oh, yeah.
So the interview before me, the guy was a bourbon connoisseur, so they were with him for an hour while they're doing bourbon tasting.
Oh, my God.
And then came to me.
What band was this?
I'm going to tell you in a second.
Here we go. Okay.
Okay. They're an Aussie band. Have you figured it out yet? Playing at Download, an Aussie band playing
an Aussie?
Aussie. Australian band playing
I don't even know who's playing at Download, man. That's the problem. Parkway Drive.
Airborne.
Oh, Airborne, of course.
Airborne.
Our lead guitar player right now has an Airborne shirt on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, that's why you're going to love this
like
story.
Synergy here, man.
So in this interview, okay, they just started announcing a Mets game like the real radio announcers. It was the funniest shit ever. I couldn't even keep my composure to do the interview. I was like dropping my mic and laughing my ass off. It was like one of my favorite ever.
You see, if you asked me to announce any baseball game, I wouldn't know how to do it.
Right?
This is like a vanity baseball hat where I just like the colors.
It is cool
like
colors.
That's like offensive, isn't it, to those who...
I don't give a shit.
And I should know better.
But it is, but I don't give a shit.
Like, I live in Toronto now, so I should know better.
At least it's a Mets hat, because I am a Yankees fan, but I get more annoyed of all the people in the States wearing Yankees hats, especially the Southerners.
Because,
like, you don't like Yankees.
Yeah,
why are you wearing a hat?
Could be wearing a Boston hat. I could be wearing a Boston hat. See, I know some of the.
I wouldn't like you then.
I know some of the baseball rivalry stuff, but
It's funny that you mentioned Parkway Drive, too.
I know, that was my own. I couldn't think of any other Aussie band there.
So when I was interviewing Winston on Shiprocked a few months ago, I pulled this thing out. This is my 80s battle vest.
Oh, cool.
And he geeked out over it the whole interview. He's like,
wow, man.
He's like this. He was like fanboying on my vest.
So cool. When's this patch from? Is this from the 80s, this patch?
Yeah,
cool.
He was like,
It's probably worth a
whoa, I
fortune
never
now, man.
saw a Metallica logo like that.
Yeah,
It's
that's
jumping the
cool.
fire. Slayer didn't even have patches
You
yet.
made that yourself?
So, yeah, and then in
Cool.
LA, people thought I was a gangbanger, and that was my gang name. So, tell us about the new album.
We've just put a new single out right now, and that's it. We're working on new music, but we've ended up in this interesting spot where we've got our own record label now. After being
Nice.
sort of, we've kind of done. We've done the independent label with no money. We've done the independent label with loads of money. We've done the major record label thing. We've done digital distribution deal, and we've done all these different iterations of how you would release music in the modern era, and we just kind of got jaded a bit by that process. So we were like always wanting to put songs out and just be proactive and have content that kind of makes our skin
And do
crawl a
it
little
your
bit.
way.
Yeah, but do it our way. Put the song out we wanted to put out, and we're coming up for being a band of nearly 20 years. We're like, we've probably earned the right to get away with this.
Yeah?
So yeah, we put this song out, Salvation it's called, and it just felt really freeing, and it also feels like a good example to set to other bands from back home that are maybe just starting out, that there is a pathway to doing things on your own terms and stuff like that.
I think that's what's the benefit nowadays compared to like in the 80s.
Right.
Because I sat there backstage in LA while these record labels would tell bands, okay, this is how you're going to look. This is what your music's going to be like now on, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, the suits should be the suits and the artist should be the artist.
Always.
Come on, man. Do what your expertise is. And if you're an artist, you should have total creative control.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because these artists get signed off of the merit of their own work. You know what I mean? Like the suits, as you're saying, like, have signed them because they're good.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And the hypocrisy that changed them
I feel like if you get involved too much, it can like start to take away the magic that made them good in the first place. Because anytime you put doubt in an artist's mind, it's like a poison that there's no cure for, basically.
Well, you're like following in the footsteps of the Beatles because they formed their own label.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah.
So you're right up there with the Beatles.
That's the only time we'll ever get compared to them, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah.
You heard it here on the Adventures of Pipeman. You are on the level of the Beatles.
Amazing.
Is there anything else you want to share with the listeners that we haven't covered that you want them to know about you?
No, man, we're just in a really good place. We're just a bunch of humble guys who've been touring for, like I'm saying, for nearly 20 years, and we're just like chipping away at the craft of being in a band. It's all about getting better and improving, but making a deeper, more meaningful connection with our fan base and just the like alternative music community on a whole. And that's our mission, is just to do that for as long as possible.
That's way better than a fucking genre.
Yeah, we're definitely a rock band. Don't get me wrong, but
that's a rock. To me, that's the bands are like, we're just rock. We're just rock and roll.
I could play 3 or 4 songs in a row, and you would just be like, that's 4 different bands, man. That's not the same band.
See, I love that because like all these bands nowadays, like that aren't like that. It's like an algebraic equation they use to make music, and
I do think we'd be a much bigger band if we did that, but we just can't.
But you're a true musician. Artist.
I'd like to think so. Yeah, I'd like to think so. Yeah.
Well, tell everybody how they reach out to you guys on the net, on locals, your record label information, everything, so they can reach out to you, and most importantly, buy your merch, because that's the only way you get to the next gig.
True. Well, everything that you mentioned there can be found at twinatlantic.com. We're on Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook, all these things, YouTube. And our record label is called Staple Diet.
I like that. That's pretty cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you know what? It's funny. Your record label could also be named Twin Atlantic. You could like associate with Atlantic.
Oh yeah.
But you're Twin Atlantic.
Just hey. They're the big scary. They're the suits you were talking about.
Exactly. So you don't want to be like them. I don't think. Well, thanks a lot for being here at Download, and thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipeman.
You've come a long way. Thank you.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.